Alright, I'm kind of getting something I like here. Back to the helmet. You see up here, these two areas, they're going to be curving the other way now. I mean, you're going to be seeing them from a lower view in this particular image. But, again, symmetry has to stay. These two square rectangles from there, same thing, but again from a different angle. His face is coming out a little wider than I'd prefer. I'm going to see what I can do about that here in a minute. Well, I see right now what I can do about it. Bring the eyes in a little bit. I recommend you probably just watch this video once without drawing anything, and then just kind of take out the parts, like me erasing this, that, and the other. Okay, I'm going to keep this symmetrical. That's a little bit better. I'll play with the eyes and the facial expressions later on. Let's get the figure done, though. Alright, most of this is going to be the same as the other one. Now what changes, we're not going to see the top of his head. We're going to see him looking up. So instead of seeing this top area, we're just going to be seeing the bottom area of it, which looks, you see this line in the center, see these lines at the side, but you don't see the top. And this is a very possible look you're going to get with him, when drawing him. Now, so looking under, this is a circle down here. We're going to see the bottom of the circle. So I'm going to do an oval here under his head, and we're going to draw on top of it using this oval as a guide. We're going to do a shadowy line to connect here. You want to do as little guesswork as possible, because I know if you're anything like me, every now and then you've drawn a character you like and got everything perfect, best looking picture you ever drawn. Then you try to draw it again and it looks terrible. Well, you got to figure out how to keep it looking good. What made it good the first time? Were you guessing things? Did you hit the proportion dead on? Well, if you did, find out why. Use the same measurements. And now make sure he's the same on both sides. Here he is. We'll get those vents. Although take those vents with a grain of salt, because they seem, I've seen the scenes of Transformers, and I looked at the movie, the way they portray him on there. Sometimes they show the vents from the front, sometimes they don't. It feels like they're about halfway to where you can see them from the front view, but I've seen several scenes that just are not visible from the front. So I believe they should be, and I've seen them visible from the front. So if these look like they're confusing, you prefer not to draw them, don't. You'd be matching the G1 show anyhow. Right, a little more three-dimensional work under here. And don't go too far, you got to get his neck in between so you can cover the back of it. His neck's not too wide, but again not too thin. Let me just get it low enough to where it'll block this deal here. Got to flesh out the nose now. Pun not intended. I mean, it's not really fleshing. Anyway, yeah, you get it. Same as before. Let me just darken this side, because I don't really like showing both sides of the nose. Now, what is wrong? You got a decent figure, but it's not to my liking. Eyes don't look evil enough. That's problem number one, so let me get that squared away. One thing when you get to coloring Megatron's eyes, the bottom of them, he does not have raccoon eyes. He has shadows around the top and around the sides, but not at the bottom. They're not all the way around like a raccoon or anything. So make sure you erase the blacks at the bottom. That will really get you a better look on your Megatron. Okay, I can deal with those eyes, but now his helmet's pointing up too high. So I'm going to take this bridge down just a little bit. I don't have to change anything with just the bridge and move everything that is in that range. So that's the top. The bottom part of the bridge will be the top part of the bridge. And I'll erase the excess. Add these triangles back where they were, color them in. I feel like I could take this down just a little bit. I mean, it looks fine to me, to be honest, right now. I'm going to take it down just the littlest bit, since I see it. Just going to take this part down. Take this part in, and yeah, there we go. We've got Megatron's front view looking down and looking up. All we have left is the side view and the 3/4 view, actually. Side view, again, we're going to draw a circle. Cut it in half, cut it in half, cut the half in half, cut the quarter in half. Now on this side of the circle, cut that in half. Now pick a spot right here for where Megatron's eye is going to start. It won't really go too far past this quarter line, or the vertical quarter line. Go, and this would be like eyebrow level. For now, let's pretend he doesn't have a helmet. The helmet is, he's got the anatomy of a person minus the eyes, and we're going to pretend the helmet is just not there and add that on afterwards. The nose will go from this center line down to this quarter way line. So let's get the nose squared away. Point it downwards. The lips are drawn again just like a regular person's lips. Let me bring this line all the way down. Now the length of the nose, yeah, down here where it ends, halfway between these the nose and the bottom of the chin, you put the mouth. Just like with a person, you draw the upper lip. The lower lip will not be further out than the upper lip. The lower lip will be a little bit backwards. Now for the eye, again, it is going to be the same shape. Just do a trapezoid. Or I guess a rhombus. Trapezoid's better. Because that works better. Now cut this half in half, get a quarter, now you'll know where the cheek's going to come in. Well, just for an extra measurement, let's cut this horizontally in half so we know where this cheek is going to end coming forward and where it's going to end coming backwards. Just run it all the way back lightly because you're going to have this area covered by his helmet. Now the helmet, again, you see these spots here that are level with his eye? That doesn't change. They're still right here and they're still level with his eye. Curve it down just like it is there. have this rectangle at the side of his face, just like you always have. I think you learned 3 directions to draw Megatron, and maybe 4. You can draw his head from any direction. I've got to do the back view too. That'll be, I'm not going to forget that one. 3/4 view and back view will be right after I get this one squared away. But here we got the helmet and the triangle here. Now we want to keep the chin kind of slim as it has been. I'm going to show a little bit of the bottom of his chin here, where it connects to his neck. Just shadow that so you know it's the underside. And now you've got your guideline. You don't want the helmet to really go too far over the shape of his head. It's kind of like if you're drawing hair on a character, you want to make sure you draw the outline of the head first, because you don't want it to look like your character's head doesn't exist under the hair. A lot of amateurs will make a mistake like that. They'll draw hair and then the hair just it's there, but if you were to theoretically remove the hair, they'd have a missing piece of their head. Hard to explain to them though, because some people don't like their work being critiqued, whether it's good or bad. Alright, here we are. As you can see, this is pretty much hugging the shape of his head. We'll go ahead and add this, the vents on the side. And the back of his neck. And I am actually pleased with this Megatron as is. There's not really any cleaning up I need to do to it. Shoot, maybe I just draw Megatron in side view from now on, because apparently that's the better spot for me. No, I take it back. I'm not quite pleased with his nose. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I feel I like that just a little bit better. Take down his eyebrow ridge some as well. Okay, if you're going to be drawing a lot of Megatron, you're going to want to know how to do his back view. So again, we're going to draw the circle. And don't feel too worried, because this is actually the easiest view. I'm running out of space on here. Running out of time. I think I'm going to skip the 3/4 view. The 3/4 view is not very different than any of these others. You just kind of combine them. As long as you know how his helmet looks all the way around, you can do it. Now we'll draw the top of his head. I don't know what I said earlier, but it's actually a hexagon on top of his head with curvy edges. Down the center line, it's a straight line. And we just curve down with the base part. Now, I've referenced Megatron's head to where these holes on the side of his head were considered vents, but when I referenced the movie, they gave me a different look. Now, you can do these vents all the way around his head if you prefer, but just so I give a full scope of things, I'm going to do the look that it had on the movie, which honestly is a little bit easier to draw and surely to animate. Instead of having all these lines like drawn in long thin ovals, they just had a line in the center here and two lines on either side of the center line. And there you have it. Wait, let me erase that. There you have it. That's my how to draw Megatron tutorial on his head. I'm going to start putting together others on the rest of his body. I've already worked on specs for his main body as well as for his legs, how to put everything together. So start practicing the head, do what you can, and let me know what you think about this and what I can include to improve this or the future videos. Thank you for watching and have a good day.